Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Yay! Hello, and welcome to another Giver Marketing broadcast. I am so excited. Oh my goodness, Joel, we are ringing in the new year for this one. We're totally going to date ourselves, but I am excited about what's going on. I don't know about all those business owners out there, but I am excited about 2025 rolling in. So this is going to be the best. Welcome.
Oh, Joel. I am so excited as well. I think what's fun about 2025 is the new discoveries and incorporating lots of different technologies and the transition that's happening in business in many different ways, from economic to political to social. It's just it's almost a new beginning for business if they so choose.
It really is like a revolutionary time to be in business, just because of all the changes that are going on and all the opportunities now that, if you told us about this, decades ago, we'd have been, what? This is
and the speed of it, right? The speed of change, it just seems to continue to accelerate.
Yeah, so this is going to be fun. We are in for a treat. Joel, what are we talking about today?
Well, I think what's on the mind of a lot of people, at least that we've been hearing from the market, is, what do we do about all these changes? How do we incorporate them in our business growth strategies? And so today I just kind of wanted to give you what we're doing on our side, what we're engaged with, what we want to stay away from, and kind of what our strategies are for growing our marketing business.
Ooh, I love it. So you're going to give us some insights on what you're up to and best practices. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be so much fun. Now, Joel, how did you get involved in this whole marketing space anyway? What's your background?
Yeah, so, I started years ago as a sales rep for a little weekly newspaper, running around doing, used car ads and whatever else I could scrounge up to make a few bucks to put together to put gas in my car. And after a little bit of effort, worked my way up to a sales manager's role and got into the advertising industry there, and then started to expand the newspaper's role, and then just was able to get into more and more marketing roles till I finally landed with a company out of Chicago and worked in the incentive industry. And so for those who aren't familiar, employee productivity is rewarded when the company's bottom line is better. And so it's an industry, and who knew? But we got into it, and we started marketing safety programs and suggestion programs and productivity awards and sales incentives, and everyone's had some contact with that in some way or another over the course of their time and careers in business. But it's actually, a process. So we look at what behaviors modify or affect the bottom line profits. So when you think about it, if we can reduce waste, if we don't have to hire replacements when people are sick, things like that. If we can increase employee attendance, if we can get people who are genuinely involved in improving their work environments to make suggestions, right? All of those things matter. And when you talk about productivity, it's an exponential return on the hourly wage of that employee. So in business, we look at a 4-to-1 to a 10-to-1 return on that hourly wage. So when you think about productivity of the employee, anytime they can contribute to a more productive workspace, add to the bottom line, then why not reward them for that, right? And so that allowed me to work at a very high level in Shell Oil Company, the Baby Bells, to AT&T, to all the refineries. I mean, there's lots of ways that employee behavior impacts major corporations, and it is a boardroom discussion. So having that opportunity allowed me to sit in those boardrooms across the United States with a lot of major corporations. And what I really discovered was my passion was, how can we take these best practices, this learning, and bring it down to the small business owner, the person that's employing the neighborhood, who's contributing to parks and recreation, who's coaching Little League, who's sponsoring other teams and nonprofits in the area, right? And so by being able to take that knowledge and bring it down to the local business, the regional business, the franchise organizations, I really felt that passionately we can affect the local economy in a way that allows it to also grow, or at least reward the people that are in that economy, give more jobs, increase wages, things like that.
Yeah,
So that
Joel, I love your holistic approach, right? A lot of times people say, okay, I'm going to focus just on one area. You understand the backbone of the business and what it means to be successful from the perspective of the employees, the owners, and then the marketing side, and bringing in more business. And you see that as a holistic view. And not everybody brings that to the table. So that's one of the things I admire most about you.
Well, thank you, and I think that's really speaks to how we interact with our customers, our clients, to be able to say, when there's an old saying, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail. So if all you do is one thing, then everything you look for, right, has to relate to that. And I've just taken a much more kind of bespoke approach to marketing as a word, to be able to say what's going to work for you. How can you grow in the way you want to do business, right? Not everyone can, get a flood of email leads. Not everyone can take a flood of phone calls, right? Maybe there needs to be some way to record that call that it goes to an assistant who then distributes the leads. We have major corporations as clients, and who are you going to send the lead to, right? Some sales rep in West Virginia, which could happen, but maybe the marketing department needs to show attribution for that lead. And so there's a step in the middle that has to happen. So really looking at the bespoke, what works for you, and how can we support growth in the way that works for your business without having to bring in a new box, right? We don't need new black boxes, and you don't need to chase shiny objects, right? We just need to do what works better, right? And that's really the goal.
Oh, I love that. So that holistic approach, really, I'm excited about your presentation and what you're going to share with us, because this is going to be some tidbits on what you're doing, right? And some of this we're going to be able to apply to our businesses and going, And, I'm a big component of the whole idea of doing business your way. So I love that approach. So if you want to pull your slides up, we'll dive in, and we can have some fun with this, because this is going to be exciting. So folks, grab your pen and paper, make your notes, drop notes in the chat, right? But you want to pay attention to what's going on today, because you're going to get that perspective of what you can do to make major impact in your business, right? So we're looking at things we like, things you might want to dial back on or dive into further. So we're going to have some fun. I'm looking forward to this. Are you ready, Joel?
I am ready.
All
So
right.
we're gonna
Here we
talk
go.
about what to abandon, what to adopt, and what we're going to turbocharge in our marketing for 2025. So we're going to have a little bit of look ahead. And please, keep in context, people, this is my perspective on things, and I'm not an industry guru. I'm not going to tell you how to 10x your business. We're just going to look at some best practices and see what we can do to improve what we're
Absolutely.
doing
And
today.
since you mentioned about wanting to, people to do business their way, the best way to get that advice is probably to reach out and talk to you about which one of these might work well for their business. But this
Yeah.
kind of gets the ball rolling, gets them thinking about the excitement rolling into this next year.
And this is one of my buddies. So a little inspiration, right? So if things are a little bit feeling out of date, let's see if we can't zoom into the new millennium here. All right, so here's some of the trends that we're watching. This is a subject that everyone's talking about, of course, is the AI role and how to incorporate it in their business processes, in their marketing. We had an interesting conversation with one of our large corporate clients where the systems analyst said, Joel, I got to tell you, I got into this AI thing, and now all the data that you were asking me for in our analytics, I can pull it up in seconds and get you exactly what you want. So it was a lot of fun to be able to say, all right, great. Well, tell me, what was the sales volume in which part of the country for this product during what time of year, and what was our average return on an ad spend for that product, right? And so being able to dig down and deep and pull this data from here and there, you can get great analytics. So what AI has been turbocharging is these analytics, some asset creation, writing. You can get a bot to do just about anything. But I will also temper that by saying I can put a person in a mechanic's garage and you've seen the big toolboxes with multiple drawers and wheels and guys running around. But if you don't know how to use those tools, you're still going to get yourself into trouble. So we have to make sure that we understand that all of these things are just tools, and the master craftsman can make something really great, and the hobbyist can get by. So there's lots of different ways to approach it. AI also promises worlds of knowledge, right? So all of a sudden now, you have access to all kinds of knowledge that you may not have had access to before. And we have had search and Google Trends and things like that. AI has been around, many years in different forms, but now we have this instant question and response thing going on. And we can also say, let's take our specific knowledge of our company, our industry, whatever it is, our products, and build a knowledge base for AI to pull from. Mm-hmm. So we can not only say what works in the real world, in the bigger world, we can also say, how do we present our information in the world in maybe a new and unique way? So there's some really nice advantages. And so we're watching these trends and we're utilizing these tools, because when it comes to performance, what it really is it's giving a time savings. It's reducing what we call the blank page syndrome, right? Where do I start? So it gives us ideas, some best practices to refer to. and maybe even a little bit of guidance. If you say, hey, business analyst AI guy, take a look at this set of spreadsheets and tell me, how I'm doing in terms of spend in regards to the industry, right?
Yeah,
So there's
I
lots of
love
different
this.
ways to use it.
This is great. And as we think about some of the uses that we've seen, I know I had somebody I was working with recently who had uploaded all their data to create that knowledge base for training purposes. This way, their affiliates could go in, and any questions they had about the program, they could go in, ask those questions, and then the language model would spit it out, right? So they had those answers. So think about the opportunities there.
Yeah, I would love to hear from people as to how they're using, AI in the role of their business. And so I just kind of leave you with this question: is how are you going to shake hands with it, right? Will our websites look very different than they do today? Something to think about. So what that means, maybe we're going to be breaking all the rules. We got to think a little bit differently to make work what works for you. All right. So what we're trying to abandon. So when we think about analytics in making decisions, we have to understand what our desired outcomes are. And so what we're abandoning is the single source analytics. And what that means is if you're working just in, call it the Google Ads platform, there's analytics within the platform on how your campaigns are performing. There's also what we call this audience building desired outcome, which is your top of funnel identification of people who are visiting your website. Right. So it's not just about how the ads are performing, but now it's identification. Who's your audience? Who's coming in? We had a great conversation with a client the other day where he said, all my traffic is coming off of my YouTube video. And they're coming in and they're downloading our report, and we're not seeing any lead conversions. They're not converting to clients. So what we determined was that the downloads were coming from out of market. So it wasn't in a market area where he could actually accept the business. So we have to go to that top of funnel identification. And when we're looking at audience building, there's got to be 2 or 3 different sources that tell us where people are coming from, what they're engaging with, and how we're going to interact with them, which gives us that retargeting question, right? Can we now go back to them with the information that they're looking for and enhance it in some way that brings them closer to us? And once they have engaged with us, then we want to remarket, go back to them, look at the touch points, provide an upsell, and that sort of thing. So what we're really saying, and this kind of goes back to how we started the conversation, is doing business in a way that works for you, is are you identifying and creating a valuable audience that has high intent that can convert? Because we want to make your campaigns predictable, profitable, and scalable. So those are all elements that go into this multiple source platform analytics so that we make better decisions. One of the things that we're really adopting are partnership strategies. And Christine, you are a master at networking and working in partnerships. And I have to take clues from you. And in what we've done is we've said, okay, in the Giver Marketing Network, let's create relationships that allow you to grow and scale your business that you can use in a fractional way. You don't have to hire someone full time. You don't have to make a long-term commitment. You can get project support, right? And that's really the key of the Giver Marketing Network, is that marketers can come together and help each other build their businesses. And with that kind of shared roles, it does a few things for you. It allows you to remove a learning curve, right? You can get jobs done quicker. It accentuates experience, meaning you can bring someone in to sit in the chair next to you that makes you more valuable to your clients, right? And so we lean heavily in this partnership strategy where our strategic partnerships are equitable to both partners, because in this relationship we're both more valuable to our clients, and we can do joint presentations, right? We can demonstrate fulfillment on a project together, where now we have two experts in the room talking about the different things that happened in campaigns. So I think,
that's one of my favorite topics.
yeah, and feel free to expand a little bit on this, because you and I have had an opportunity to partner in a few ways, and there are other members from the Giver Marketing Network and people that we've connected with on LinkedIn. And Christine, you've been a really good catalyst in making introductions and getting us connected with great people. And of course, through the Giver Marketing Network and your role here, it's just been a fantastic way to grow.
It's amazing what you can make happen when you put the right people in the right room, right? And so marketing really is such a broad area that it's nice when you can bring in specialists that can come in and just fine tune exactly what you need done, right? The world of possibilities.
And do it in a professional way that works with best practices. I mean, how many times have you heard from a client, "Oh, I tried that strategy, it doesn't work." Right? And then you start asking the questions about, did you identify critical mass? Did you test your headlines? Did you look at images and colors and content, right? And then their eyes start rolling in the back of their head and realize that there's more to the story.
And there always is, right? When it comes to marketing, if you're doing it right, it's got multiple levels that you're looking at, right? And that testing process and your A/B testing, right? So getting the right people in the room that understand how all that works is a game changer.
Sure. And even right down to coding, right? Yeah, in our network, we have great coders. And, we go to a coder and we go, "Hey, listen, we're working on this kind of lead funnel idea. How can we present the right information to them at the right time?" And the coder is able to build that for you. So here's some things that we are leaning into, what I call turbocharging, where we're really focusing, especially for the new year. And this has been best practice for us along the way, but really leaning heavily now in this multi-layered digital approach. The digital world is extremely noisy. And I just was with a bunch of marketing experts. What do they say? The definition of an expert's a drip under pressure. Anyway. But the whole idea is that people are saying, we used to say, don't oversend emails, don't overpost, don't blog too much, right? Because people don't want to feel spammed. Frankly, people don't see it. You put something in someone's feed, you're 20 pieces down the feed before they've even booted up their cup of coffee, right? So, it's volume, right? So the new kind of trend is more volume, which I'm not sure that's a good thing, but
but the algorithms, right? People are looking for solutions to work around the algorithms, especially in social media. In this day and age, we're seeing more of a shift where organic posting, right, where you actually see what people post, versus paid, right? We're seeing them encourage the paid and less visibility on the organic. Right? There's a design to that.
Yeah, and they want you to pay, right? Because their job is to spend your money, number one, so that you feel like you're getting value. Their job is also time on platform. So They want to make sure that you're seeing a lot of things that engages you, so you spend more time on the platform. So there's, this noise needs to be filtered, and so we filter in our own ways, and then we disengage, right? So when it comes down to really building an audience, we have to combine our layers to reach this campaign goal. We have to understand the algorithm and what each platform's sphere of influence is. What's their main purpose? Would you TikTok versus, PPC? These are all questions. What's their role, right? Match how the platform is being consumed and create a predictive outcome. So again, we talked about one of our main objectives in creating campaigns for our clients is to make it predictable. So if we can make your campaigns predictable, then we can think about how to make it profitable, right? So testing and measuring all of that, we have to find out where critical mass lives so we know how much money it takes to get enough clicks to get the right conversions to convert the clients, right? So all the attribution has to be in place. So testing and measuring, right? And then delivering value in the customer journey is what makes that profitable and scalable. So if we know that we're solving a problem or delivering on a promise or creating value, offering support to people that need support in different ways, you're going to have an audience, you're going to build an audience. Because again, the internet's noisy, but in the end, people see what they're looking for. So if we can deliver what they're looking for, right message, right time, right solution, right, now we can make a predictable campaign out of it.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's overwhelming for business owners to try and understand the rules and regulations within each of the platforms, right? They're just a little bit different, right? Facebook loves when I post 10 times a day, right? If you post 10 times a day in LinkedIn, they will hate you. It's just not the right platform for that, right? So you got to know the details on that, and trying to learn all of that for a business owner can be overwhelming. And this is why it's so nice to have specialists that understand how these programs work. Like you said, you can use AI to create the content, but do you really know how to use it best for each way, right? This is where your experts come in. They can really help guide you in the right direction and look at all these little numbers that you're like, this can be overwhelming, right? Thank goodness we have experts in the room.
We had a great conversation with a client earlier in the week where, their position was, this paid per click thing's not such a big deal. We're just going to do it in-house. And I said, love it. Great. Listen, so here's some things to consider. And by the time the conversation ended, they're like, yeah, I think you guys should just take care of it for us, right? Because there's just more to the story, right?
Yeah, and you don't realize it. You open up and you're like, oh, right? I was helping a client set up a Google business profile the other day, and they're like, oh my goodness, what does this even mean? What do I, right? If you've never done it before, or you've just kind of dabbled in it, sometimes you don't realize all the nuances that have impacts on your results.
Yeah, and what the results look like, right? So if you're putting up a Google business profile, what's the desired outcome of having one? Well, I want to get on page 1 of Google. Oh, okay. Well, there's a strategy around that, but do you want calls? Do you want bookings? Do you want, So there's a lot of more conversation, and having, someone in the room that's done it a few hundred times doesn't hurt.
Absolutely, because you don't want, for example, your Google business profile to get suspended, or
yeah, that's the other thing. Have a policy violation and you just have no one to talk to about it.
Right. And you don't know what those rules are, right? So it's nice to have somebody, if you're trying something new, to have someone kind of guide you along the way.
Yeah, we've ended up in tier 3 support many times at Google to not get a phone call or a response. So what does tier 3 mean? It means no one's going to talk to you and they can't do anything about it. So have fun. Okay, so how we're structuring our campaigns. So this is kind of goes back a little bit to, what we've been talking about today is cross-platform behaviors, right? So we want to look at the different platforms and what the progression is with engagement. How can we get somebody into our nurture system which demonstrates value to them to continue to bring them closer and closer to us? And we'll use a number of different tools or a number of different ways to communicate across the different platforms to bring that audience closer with credibility. So maybe they come to a landing page of some kind and they engage in a conversation with chat and they get an email, they respond or download a report, they get a phone call follow-up, they come to a discovery call. The discovery call leads to a set of suggestions or a proposal of some kind. Then there's a strategy session, right? And then the strategy session leads to a plan, right? So there's all of these steps that kind of go along. And so we need to have lots of different ways to use all the different platforms to engage and nurture and provide progression, right? Because we don't sell the product end result at the very first conversation, right? You have to sell step by step. So when the best salespeople understand how to lead a conversation to bring you to a decision. And in the digital age, we don't have as much in-person opportunity to do that. And so the skill now has to relate to visual and written and video, right? There's lots of different ways of conveying the message that has almost taken away that personal relationship that says, man, I really enjoy chatting with you and having extemporaneous conversations around certain topics. I have a standing weekly meeting with a product manager for one of our large industrial clients, because the question is, with all of these different verticals that they're in and all the different products that they're in, how do they make that consumable to their customer? How do they make that information consumable? And when you're doing, $100 million in volume, have 200 and some odd sales reps, sometimes that message can get muddled. So we have to put words in the salesperson's mouth, or we have to give them the information that allows them to sing from the same page. So these behaviors, cross-platform behaviors, these are very important elements in how we structure our campaigns. And then, of course, enhanced data collection. So what's fun with this is data comes in somewhat anonymously. The sophisticated marketer knows how to take that anonymous data and turn it into enhanced data. And anyone that works in an ad platform, there's enhanced filtering that you can subscribe to. There are regulations around it and how you use the information. But again, that enhanced data allows us to go back to our question on engagement and progression and nurture and say, okay, this person needs to hear from me via email. Are we able to collect an email to send them exactly what they need? Right. So if they don't put it in initially into a lead form, then maybe we can reach out to them in another way. So enhanced data collection. And I had one customer go, man, this is really some FBI kind of stuff, but, and why do these ads keep following me around, right?
Stalker ads, gotta love them.
Go ahead, click on buying new shoes or something. You'll get shoe ads
for the next month. You'll be looking at black shoes.
Right, and I don't mean it, from a pesty point of view, right? It's just, again, identifying what's important to that person and delivering it to them. But sequential value-based optimization, right? Unique data specific to the client, the market, the audience, the offers, right? Again, people see what they're looking for, so we want to allow them to see it because they're looking for it.
Right. So understanding what your audience wants so you can give them more of it.
Exactly. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, we got a team. The Giver Marketing Network is a big part of our team. This is my internal team. Luca Dog is our business development supervisor, and he's led us to doubling our growth in 2024 and is putting the motivation behind us to do it again.
That's right. Thank you, Luca. We'll work for treats.
Yes. Yeah. He's as long as we're up working, he's up working, or at least supervising. So we're happy to have this great group of people. I call them my angels. And John is my inside sales support person. He's kind of my special projects manager. Ada, she helps keep me. I call her my welfare agent. She keeps me well and fair. And then we have a content development team, a PR team, and of course our LinkedIn outreach team. So there's lots of different ways to engage with us, and I always just encourage a free strategy session. If you want to scan the QR code, it'll take you to a little presentation about our company. You can always connect with me directly on LinkedIn, and there's our phone number as well. But really all you need to remember is freeideasession.com, and that'll drop you right on my calendar, and you can find a time that works, and I'm happy to chat with anybody. And for people listening today, anyone that comes in and schedules some time on my calendar, I'm buying you the coffee, so you'll enjoy a nice hot cup of Joe at the end of that meeting. So look forward to engaging with everyone in the new year and providing any type of feedback or support that we can.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, Joel's got this holistic approach to your business, right? So whatever it is that you've been struggling with, it's worth getting on his calendar and saying, you know what, I'm ready to make some changes in my business this year. I want to, make that impact. I want to see increased in income. I want to make more profits. I want my happier employees, whatever it is, right? Whatever you're struggling with, this is a great opportunity to talk to somebody who's been in some large companies, has been helping smaller companies, and understands what you need for where you're at in your business. So this is really one of those you want to jump on, take a scan of that real quick, hop on his calendar and see what he's got available on there, because you're missing out on an opportunity if you don't.
Yeah, and if you mention the Giver Marketing Network, you not only get your cup of Joe at the end of our coffee chat, but I offer a 120-day performance guarantee for anyone that wants to engage in a campaign. So mention the Giver Marketing Network, and let's have some fun.
120-day performance. What? Say that again, Joel. Oh my goodness. You're offering what?
So anyone that engages with us, the end of 120 days, if we haven't hit our milestones and performed at the level expected, we will continue to work for you for free until we do.
Wow. Now there's a guarantee. And I got to say, a lot of times when you talk to marketers, we're like, well, we'll do what you want, but good luck. Let's see what happens. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantees? No. You don't hear that very often. You definitely want to reach out and take advantage of this opportunity. That's incredible.
This has been great. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the Giver Marketing Network and you, Christine, specifically, and all of the great partners that we've been able to work with over the last, 3 years or so that I've been a part of the network. It's certainly contributed to the growth in our business. It allows us to open new verticals without engaging in a lot of overhead. And we have everyone from people that can provide temporary staffing to coding to website and design. and Christine will get you on a podcast and explode your business in lots of different ways. So by all means, engage with the network. Get on my calendar, get on Christine's calendar. Come in. You've got a networking opportunity. You've got white labeling opportunities. So Christine, why don't you kind of bring us up to date on what's happening on the network? I know I've been traveling a lot lately, and I may not have it all.
Well, you have been traveling. We've been missing your smiling face. You've been so busy. And I was just thinking about some of the success that you've seen in your business over the years as you just continue to grow. I know you don't like to brag about numbers and things, but I've seen your numbers, and I'm glad to see things are going so well. So if you want him to apply some of those to your business, right, reach out, make that appointment with Joel. The Giver Marketing Group is a great group of marketers with all different areas of expertise. And Joel, you're actually going to be one of the speakers coming up here on our marketing summit on Tuesday, January 14th. Make sure you save that date, because you're going to want to go hang out with us. But that's givermarketing.com/summit. We'll get you there. Register, right? Joel's actually going to be one of the speakers. Joel, do you remember what you're going to be talking about that day?
Oh, I have something very special planned, and we are working on building it as we speak. And so we're going to be unveiling a new funnel design strategy. And I use the word funnel is only because that's what a lot of people understand what a lead system is. But we're going to design, we're in the process of finish building it out as we speak, is a unique lead generation process, and where the customization options are for you, and how the system can bring that lead in the way, again, the way you do business, right, and how you want to handle it. And I think it's going to be something that people haven't really seen before in all its glory.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be paying attention, taking lots of notes, right? And that's the kind of expertise we bring to the table. The Giver Marketing Summit is an opportunity to see 10 plus, marketers shine and show their areas of expertise. So if you're looking for an opportunity to kind of up level your business moving into the next year, this is an opportunity to see professionals at work sharing their wisdom. You're going to be talking about that. I'll be talking, of course, about strategies and collaborations, because that's kind of one of my favorite spaces to play in. So you've got a lot of experts talking about a lot of fun things, from using video in your marketing, talking in a way that encourages your audience to listen. I mean, so we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So everybody, make sure you save the date for January 14th and come hang out with us, because that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It's always a great event, and everyone that's presenting at this summit is a specialist in their field. And if you did nothing else but write down the name and what they do, at the end of that day, you will have the most amazing marketing team at your fingertips that you could have ever imagined, because it's going to be the top professionals in their specialty talking to you about how they use that to grow business. And so,
absolutely,
I always love it.
There it is real quick on the website. When you go to the website, that's what it is. 2025 Marketing Summit. This is a no-cost event. This is our give back to the community, right? We've got amazing people. Rob Turley's going to talk about go-to-market strategies. Tim Palmer's great on conversion and websites. And oh my goodness. Brenda's talking about breaking the rules. She's a solutionist. Dimitri is a whiz in the website design area. I have to tell you, he's pulled things out of the fire for us a couple of times. Troubleshooting your marketing with Frank. Jennifer's talking about getting people to listen. Ken Cook, oh my goodness, over at the Prepared Group, he's always got something fascinating to say. Keish in the video space. Nate's talking about inclusion in your website. I mean, so we've got a powerhouse group going right here. So you want to make sure that you check in and have some fun with us that day. I'm looking forward to it. So Joel, we're starting the new year out right. Are you ready?
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be an amazing kickoff. And like I said, when we get done with that summit, there isn't any category of marketing that you won't have an expert ready to support you with. So, and then the network itself, right? We have a couple of events coming up.
We do. We meet on Wednesdays as networking for marketers, PR space, media space. So don't be a lonelypreneur. Come hang out with us on Wednesdays. That's always a fun group to hang out. It's a smaller, intimate group, and we love it that way because we kind of do a let it be a kind of emergent topics. So we go where you want to go. So that's givermarketing.com/networking. That's a great place to hang out. So we are just having a lot of fun together. And of course, we do the broadcast every Tuesday. So make sure you tune in. You're following us on social, right? You want to be a part of our group. So reach out. We love, love, love meeting you. So come be part of the Giver Marketing family.
Absolutely. Well, this has just been really a lot of fun today, and it's always great to connect with you. And my holiday greetings and best wishes for the new year to you and your family and everyone in the network. And again, I feel honored and privileged to be able to share some time with you today.
It was fantastic having you, Joel. You always are a wealth of knowledge. So on that, we'll sign off and say thank you for joining us for this Giver Marketing broadcast, and we will see you all soon. Bye-bye.